These niggas praying on my downfall. Trust, nigga, best believe I'ma bounce back. Get to cooking in the booth when I sound off. My opinions making dollars like the NASDAQ.
Tri Vibes, what's happening? We back with another episode of the Tri Vibes podcast, man. This is episode 2. I'm your host, Johannes. Man, I want to say thank you to everybody that watched the first episode, Syllabus Day. It did pretty well, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Got over 100 people to watch me talk for an hour in my car. It's crazy. As you can see, we back in the car again for the second time. I don't think I'm gonna do this for too much longer. Hopefully I can set up like a little area in my room or in the loft upstairs to be able to record out the house. But for now, I'm comfortable in the car. And yeah, man, it's working for me right now. So we're gonna stick with it. As y'all can see though, we got an intro now. See my podcast logo. You hear the music, that's me. We got an outro, that's me again. So every episode that I drop, man, I want to just slowly kind of just level up, get better at this shit. This time around for the second episode, I have no notes. This is all off the top of the head. Today's my birthday, so it's only fitting, it's only right that we do this episode today. The whole episode is just me reflecting back and taking y'all back to how all this shit started. So yeah, man, without further ado, let's just get right into it. So the title of this episode right here is called East to West. That just symbolizes my transition from being born in Ethiopia to how we got to America. I'm gonna take y'all all the way back, preconception, before I was even born. I'm gonna kind of give you guys a little insight on my parents, just a short little story of how they came up individually, how they met, the wedding day, my birth, and then we're gonna talk about how we got to America. So we're gonna go from conception to like the 5th grade. That's the basis of this video right here. So let's start with my mother. She's about to be 60 in 5 days. March 28th, she'll be 60, man. She had me at the age of 31. She's the only daughter on her dad's side. She comes from a household where she didn't grow up with her biological mom. Her mom and dad divorced early. She moved out with her dad, and her dad got remarried. She grew up in a household with her stepmother and the rest of their family. They ended up having like 5 or 6 boys after that. She's the only daughter on that side of the family. My maternal grandfather, her father, is a school teacher. He's an English teacher. Funny enough, in Ethiopia, he's like a renowned English teacher. But as we know, in America, teachers don't get paid shit. So you can only imagine in Ethiopia, they not making nothing. They grew up poor, but it was like my mom, she was the only daughter, so she was spoiled, you know? Like my grandfather, he spent his earnings on just getting her to school. Like he hired a taxi for her to be picked up from the house to be driven to school. So they spoiled her with what they had. So my mom gets older or whatever. She ends up getting married. She has a first marriage. From this first marriage comes my sister, my half-sister, Haywan. They ended up getting a divorce shortly after. That's pretty much my mom's. I just want to keep this as short as possible. So essentially, that's kind of how my mom came up. She grew up with a father that was like, he's an educator. He's very big into education. My mom is the complete opposite. She's not really fucking with the school thing at all. She comes from a divorced family too. So you can kind of see this cycle following us. You can see these generational curses, they continue. So take that into account. My dad, on the other hand, he was born, we don't know when he was born, truthfully. He's an African men, they don't really like talking about their age, nor can we really like verify. I don't think he has a birth certificate. So his license says 1950, but if you ask him like, are you 76? He probably gonna say no. He probably gonna say younger. I don't know. He might be around 75, 76. He's born to 2 parents. He grew up in a household where there was no divorce. He is one of like 7. There's like 7 of them. He's the 3rd of the 7 children. He's the 3rd boy. They went boy, boy, boy. And then it went like girl, girl, boy, boy, something like that. So yeah, his name is Getahun. So his name means, the literal translation is be like God. They gave him that name after he was born because he was like the easiest one to deal with as a toddler. They said he just wouldn't cry. He was just like a quiet little boy. My mom's name, Mesaret, means foundation. She was the building block of the family, the first one. So, like I said, my dad's the 3rd boy in his family. His father was a priest. His mother was a stay-at-home mom up until his father passed. Once his dad died, she didn't remarry. My grandmother took a vow. She became a monk. She moved to a monastery in Ethiopia, lived in a cave and ate seeds and prayed for, 16 hours a day for the most part. So she became a monk, fully committed her life to God, and, she died a monk. Yeah, so Pops is dirt poor. He come from, mind you, 7 kids in the house. His mom don't work. His dad is a priest. Imagine, like, there's stories. Obviously, he'll never tell me, but my mom has told me stories. Other people, like, close to him have told me stories where they grew up on Sundays when it was time to eat. My grandma, she would invite people over from the neighborhood to eat. But some days, like, the kids just weren't able to eat, or the food was very rationed. So, like, they couldn't really eat every day how they wanted. Food was an issue. Clothing was an issue. Every African parent, as we're growing up, they telling us, like, I was walking to school miles with no shoes and all this shit. I thought that shit was cap when I was younger. I'm like, what is he talking? He's not, I get it. We're poor, understandable, but, like, I never seen that type of poverty. Like, what do you mean? I never really believed it. Brother, there is a picture. I just found a picture in our family, like, photo album of my dad when he was young. And it's him and his family. He has no shoes. He was not lying. Like, bro did not have shoes for a long time. Anyway, as he's getting older, at the age of 29, he's just now starting to tell me, like, some truths about his upbringing. Like, bro didn't even talk. He hates talking. He know how to talk shit to me, but he don't want to talk. So everything that I've kind of learned about my father, for the most part, has come from either my mom telling me stories or, like, his friends, stuff like that. But he just, for some reason, just wouldn't, like, really tell me many truths about how he grew up. Whatever. As he got older, he became, like, he was just like a little hustler. Like, he was just running around selling newspapers, selling chickens. He was an entrepreneur, bro. Was just selling whatever he could. Funny enough, now he's starting to tell me, yeah, I used to carry a wad. I used to have a wad, a bill. I had dollar bills in my pocket. Like, okay, Pops. Like, nigga, when I was younger and I was on his ass about, nigga, I'm here to get money. That's it. Don't talk to me about no school. I used to get in trouble for talking about money, right? But now he want to tell me when he was 15, 16, he was walking around with bundles of cash because he was selling shit. It's like, all right, bro, whatever. As he's getting older, he's like really into his schoolwork. He wants to be like an electrical engineer, so that's what he studied. He got internships out in Japan. He was in Japan for a little bit. He's got a lot of stories, man. One time his brother got arrested in India for smuggling gold. So my dad had to travel to Bombay to bail him out. Which is like, these are crazy stories that I wish I was told these stories when I was younger, because I grew up knowing like a different side of my father. Bro had no vices. He had no fun. Fun was not a part of his life. No friends for real. Like, bro just wanted to be in the house, really. Helicopter parent me. That was his fun, was like just being a helicopter parent. That's it. That's all he cared about. That shit drove me crazy, but looking back on it, I kind of have a little bit of respect for the presence. You know what I mean? At least he was there. Like, he didn't show up the best way, but he was there. I had that to be grateful for. He used to smoke cigarettes. This nigga would never tell me this shit, but my mom was like, yeah, bro, like, before you were born, he was a chain smoker. The motherfucker used to smoke hella cigs. Crazy, right? He would never out of his mouth admit any of this, by the way. So, fast forward, he gets a little job in southern Ethiopia. He goes out there, he meets a girl, he has a girlfriend, she gets pregnant. From there comes my other sister, my half-sister, Jordanos. I don't know the extent of their relationship. He'll never talk about it. Who knows? But they have a kid. Now, mind you, my mom has a child. She got a daughter from a previous marriage. My dad has a daughter from a previous relationship. Now, they both single. So, at a wedding of a mutual friend, they're both in attendance. They don't know each other. The story goes, there was a friend of my mom's that knew my dad's family and pretty much kicked it to her like, yo, there's this guy. He's a single father. He's got a daughter just like you got a daughter. Comes from a great family. in Ethiopian terms, great family just means he's Christian, or like their family is like religious or some shit. So they introduced my parents. From there, they like, I don't even know what went on after that. You know what I mean? They do a little dance, a little 1-2. She's pregnant. She's pregnant with me. This is before they're married. I'm a bastard. I was born out of wedlock. All this matters because of how strict they were in trying to raise me. And like, a lot of it is just so hypocritical that it drives me crazy. Like, these people are human. And as a kid, I revered them like a god, almost like superhuman, because of the way they portrayed themselves. And that shit is unhealthy, bro. You're supposed to be raw and authentic with your children. My mom, she's pregnant now, right? And in her like second trimester with me, she starts to develop a mass, a huge, like, just big ass bump full of pus. It's huge, it's damn near the size of her belly. So it gets to a point where the doctors are like, really one option. We either get rid of the child and completely focus on saving you, because this could go tragic, or there's a chance that we're probably gonna lose both of y'all. It was like a severe infection or something. My mom, being the gangster that she is, she like, nah, we keeping the boy, like, by any means necessary. So she told my dad, yo, go fetch some holy water, dog. Like, go to the church, get us some holy water, and I'm gonna just sip on this holy water and pray over it, and we're gonna be all right. So he goes to some church. He goes to a church, and he gets, in Amharic, it's called tzebed. Tzebed is a holy water. The tzebed that they got was from Johannes. Johannes is tzebed. The English translation would be St. John, right? St. John's holy water. So my mom she's sipping on the holy water. She praying, you know what I mean? I'm sure everybody's in prayer, you know what I mean? My pops is probably praying. My grandmother, you know, she a monk. So I'm gonna make it. You know what I mean? My grandma ain't doing nothing but praying all day. So of course I'm gonna make it, you know what I mean? Mom's heals up, you know, she all right. She get good, and then they decide to have a C-section. They cut her open, and they had me. We living in this tiny like shack, bro. This shit, boy, this, talk about the trenches, my nigga. Like, nigga, our crib was made out of like 10 or like really like 10, bro. I post a video right here of what the crib looked like. But we made it work, bro. Like, early on, I'm looking at the pictures, my mom, my dad, me, we look happy, you know what I'm saying? Really does something to me when I look at those pictures back in the day. My dad, he going to work. You know, my mom is home recovering, and, you know, in Ethiopia, it's very communal. People coming to look after you every day. Family members are coming to the house to check on my mom while she recovers. My dad would get off of work, come home, and he would wash her, hand wash her. She couldn't even bend over, like, she can't even wipe her ass. Pops gotta wipe her ass, like, he gotta wash her. He doing all this stuff, bro. That's real love. Like, it was there, you know what I mean? Like, the love was there. It was real. Where did things go wrong? Like, so fast forward, Pops is working. He's looking to try to get a promotion to try to work at the UN office in Ethiopia. So as he's like pursuing this promotion at work, he's also behind everybody's back. He's playing a lottery to go to America. There's this thing called the diversification visa lottery. About 20 million people worldwide apply every year. Like 50,000 are selected. And then from there, you have an interview process. You got to have a sponsor, somebody that lives in America that's going to sponsor you to come over here. By sponsor means they're just going to be responsible for you. That's it. So luckily, my pops, his brother, Terry, was already living in Charlotte. So it was a no-brainer, right? So Pops is playing this lottery behind everybody back. He not really telling anybody but his wife, my mom. Anyway, Pops is playing this lottery all the time, right? He's telling my mom, like, yo, we're out of here. We going to America. Like, it's up. We got to go. Like, because in his mind, sure, a comfy promotion, like, comfy in Ethiopia is like abject poverty in America. So he's like, yo, I'd rather just go to America and we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Than to like get a decent job in Ethiopia. So he playing his lottery. My mom, she laughing at him though. She like, nigga, you got too much hope. Like, brother, we not going nowhere. Like, how are we gonna win a lottery to go to America? Don't even compute in her head, right? Like I said, it's 20 million applicants, 55,000 are chosen every year. That's roughly like, it's less than 1%. It's less than 1%. It's like a fraction of a percent, like 0.3% or something like that. So he keep playing it though. He got faith. He'll tell you he don't care about money. He don't give a fuck about none of that. But he used to play the lottery here in America every week, religiously, right? This nigga's he's so funny, bro. He'll be like, well, yeah, the jackpot is 100 million, but if I win, I just need 1 million. I'm gonna give them back the 99. Get your lying ass. Why boy be lying, bro? But anyway, so Pops was playing this lottery, and eventually this nigga hits the lottery. They mail him back, yo, you've been selected to go to America. He's tweaking. He like, it's funny, we just talked about this story. He's like, yeah, I didn't tell nobody. I didn't tell nobody, not a single family member. I didn't even tell your mom. So a month before the flight. So a month before the flight, he like, yo, we're going to America. Like, let's go ahead and get this wedding done. We out. So by this time, I'm like 2-3 years old. So at this age, I'm a menace, bro. They talk about me like I was a menace, bro. Like, so in the Ethiopian culture, coffee ceremonies are like, they're like sacred, bro. People gather around the coffee ceremony. You invite people over your home. Like, it's a big thing. It's a big deal. So my mom, she would do coffee ceremonies often, right? And we have family members pull up and shit. And for me, I like being the center of attention at a young age, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, people want to come over. I'm gonna give them a show. So I had a little tricycle. I used to hop on my tricycle, and as soon as she set up the coffee cups and she set up the whole little, the setup, once she set up the whole thing, I used to take my little tricycle and I just run over the coffee cups. Just run over them, right? Then as soon as I run over them, I drop my bike off and I get to pissing on the cups. Crazy. Just a menace. And so it got to a point where my Uncle Terry, he would call my mom before he would come over. He'd be like, yo, lock the boy up. Put him in the room or send him to somebody else's house. Just keep him like 50 meters. He used to say, keep the boy 50 meters away. I was terrorizing my home. And then I was terrorizing the neighborhood too. We had a lady beside us that she used to grow crops and plants and stuff like that. She had beef with the next door neighbor. So I used to run over to her crib. I piss on her plants. Just nuts. This is so disrespectful. Then I run to the other neighbor's house because they got beef. So I'm like, oh yeah, she's not coming over here. I'm like 2 or 3 just terrorizing the whole community. But they fucked with me though. They like, to this day, like I went back last year and I ran into that lady, bro, and she gave me the longest hug I've ever received. I ain't felt love like that in years, bro. And I haven't seen her in over 20-something years. And she still talks about, to this day, she talks about it like it was a blessing. Like, you would run over here and piss on my crops, but it was like, to her, she was like, it was a blessing, like it's a child. So shout out to her, man. So fast forward, I am now 3 years old. My parents got a wedding, coming up. And then after that, the plan is we're going to America. The wedding comes and I'm the best man. I got my little suit on, ready to do my thing. So like in the middle of like pictures and shit, I have my suit pants, the button, it popped off. I'm tripping. I can't believe this little button just popped off. Now my fly is open. We gotta shut down the whole wedding. Like, this can't happen, So now I'm on my dad's ass. Like, he's stressed. Mom's are stressed. Everybody's stressed because I'm stressed. They're like, yo, just leave it alone, whatever. So I rocked out the whole wedding. No button, fly open. Fuck it. And so now this wedding was a great time until it wasn't, right? And this is like a trend. This is like a common pattern in my life for some reason, where it's like at the highs, something tragic happens. It's like, it's just unfortunate, dog. But my father's sister, she had a husband. They were coming together to the wedding, and I think he was like not feeling well or something. So he told his wife and his kids, like, y'all go ahead. I'm gonna catch up with y'all later. His wife is at the wedding. Everybody's like on the dance floor. Everybody's having a good time. And before you know it, people are like running out onto the dance floor, whispering into each other's ears and stuff. They're like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And you can see like people just starting to scatter, like leaving. So now everybody's kind of tripping. Like, what happened? What happened? So the news gets around that like her husband had gotten in a car accident. He was in the hospital. Everybody running to the hospital, right? So the abandoning the wedding, we going to the hospital. Get to the hospital. Unfortunately, he passed away that day. And it's just like, that shit is fucking crazy. So, you know, rest in peace, Musfin, bro. The wedding comes and goes. And now we bought the tickets. It's time to go to America. Now, this is crazy. I told y'all earlier, my mom has a daughter, right? My dad has a daughter. They live in completely different places, but the DV, the diversification visa, allowed 3 people. That's it. It was only 3 people that could go. I'm their only shared child, but it's can you imagine like having to leave your kids behind and moving to a different country? Sit and I reflect on this all the time because it could have went so different. They could have easily been like, let's take the oldest girl. She's like 12 at the time. So she would have to go to school for 6 years. She could probably get a job right after. She could help out the family, right? But nah, they like, we taking a little boy. They decide, okay, we're taking Johannes, we're out. We're going to America. Crazy, right? To win the lottery, it's under a 1% chance. Then there's 5 of us. They only allowed 3. So to be, you know what I mean? Like they chose me to go. What are the odds? I wasn't even supposed to be born. Remember the mask? I wasn't even supposed to make it. So already we define a lot of odds, right? So the day comes where we are heading out to America, right? The flight from Ethiopia to America requires a layover pit stop at in Germany or Italy, wherever. We stopped in Frankfurt, Germany. Mind you, so we on the flight, right? Halfway through the flight, my dad starts coughing up blood just everywhere, right? We don't know what the fuck is going on. So he coughing up blood from on the flight to that night we had to stay, we had to get a hotel and stay the night in Frankfurt because he's going through it. So at the hotel room, he's just coughing up blood, right? He's making peace. He's like, yo, it's over for me. I'm dead. Like, I'm dying. So he get to telling my mom, make sure the boy goes to school. Just get him to school. Da 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 da. He on it like school. His last fucking wish, this nigga go school. But you're dying, Dad. Like, what do you, bro? Tell me you love me or something. You know what I mean? Like, fuck school. But he over here talking about some school, right? My mom, she doesn't know how to handle stress. She's like, what do you mean? Like, I can't go to America, a country I don't even know, without my husband. Like, what I'm gonna do? With a boy, what I'm gonna do? Nobody ever told me like how I was reacting in that moment, but I was probably scared, you know what I mean? I was a little kid, just probably terrified watching my dad puke blood. Luckily, there was his older brother's daughter, so his niece, lived in Frankfurt at the time. So they give her a call. Pinini, that was her name, Pinini. So they call her. They tell her the story, right? Yo, he's over here dying, like he coughing up blood, da 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 da. So my dad is he like me, right? We the same in the sense that he don't do doctors, he don't do hospital for real. He just like, I'm gonna diagnose myself. There's something wrong with my gut. I don't know what he diagnosed himself with. He like, something wrong with my gut. Boom. He calls her. He's like, yo, just bring this type of medicine, please. Rushing over to the hotel with that medicine. So he takes the medicine. And we're just like praying, like, okay, let's see if he just makes it through the night. So we get through the night. He wakes up. He's feeling better. Thank God, right? So now we got the flight from Frankfurt to Charlotte. This is in 2001. We land in Charlotte, North Carolina, man. Our first residence. We went immediately to the west side, Clanton Road, Roseland Apartments, Section 8 housing, right? We in the projects. We in the hood. This shit crazy. But truthfully, nigga, we got running water. Like, electricity don't go out, you know what I mean? So long as you pay the bill, like, we in the hood, but it's damn near like a level up. You know what I mean? We coming from, I just told you the house I was born in was 10. Just 10, like, we move in with my Uncle Terry. He living by himself. He had a 2-bedroom apartment, right? It's just him. Now, like 5 months into this, my dad's sister and her 2 kids, they end up coming to America as well. So we ended up being like 7 deep in this 2-bedroom apartment, right? Imagine that. But Pops, he like, clearly this is not gonna work for a long time. I gotta get it, I gotta work and we gotta get out of here. This is where my first introduction to my first friend in America happens, right? Jonas, the guy I'm supposed to do the podcast with, my man, he was the same age as me. We live in the same neighborhood. His parents got close to my parents through church. We all Ethiopians went to like the same church here in Charlotte at the time. We didn't have our own church, so we were using the Greek Orthodox church off of East Boulevard. We got close. Obviously, there's another Ethiopian family a couple buildings away. We got close. Jonas's dad, they've been here for a little bit longer. So his pops, off top, he like, my dad, you need a car. So I'm indebted to Jonas and his family forever because his pops pulled up trash bag full of cash. I don't know how much was in there. Some racks though. He pulled up like, yo, we going to China Grove, we going to the auction. We're going to get you a car. And you're going to use this car to get to work, get you some money, get out. Go get a car. It's a blue Chevy. I'll never forget it. He get the car. He finds a job. He's an electrician / handyman at Adams Mark Hotel, which is the modern day Sheraton Hotel downtown. So he's a handyman. He's doing that. Mind you, my mom at the time, she's staying at the crib because she's got to recover from this surgery. They didn't cut her open. She has to recover from the surgery before she gets to working. So her job is to take care of me and get me to school. So mind you, the one car we had, my dad would take to work in the morning. So when it was my time to go to school, my mom, she would get up. We'd walk over to the bus station. We take that bus downtown to the bus station, right? When we got to the bus station, I'm a kid. I'm like, Mom, Bojangles, I want Bojangles every day, daily. I had to get Bojangles breakfast, right? My mom don't know how to say no to me. So she's like, fuck, okay. She take me to the Bojangles. I was getting a steak biscuit every morning. So I'm like, yo, let me get a steak biscuit. The cashiers, they just started fucking with me. They like, bet. We pay for one, they throwing me 2. We pay for 1 biscuit, they throwing me 2. It's love, bro. They threw me 2 steak biscuits every morning, right? My mom tells this story all the time. I'm like, damn, they fucking with me, So we would pick up that breakfast and we would hop on another bus and go to Double Oaks preschool. When we get off the second bus, there's like a 10-minute walk from the bus stop to the school. My mom she's still trying to recover from the surgery, but I'm a kid. I don't know what's going on for real. So I would tell her, piggyback, like put me on your back and walk me to the school because I don't want to walk. It's a long walk, when your legs are like that small, 10-minute walk becomes like, that shit feels like forever. And like I said, moms don't know how to say no to me. So she's like, okay. She'll carry me on her back and we just, walk to the school. And I had a severe attachment issue with my mom in the sense that she would drop me off, separation anxiety. Whenever she would like drop me off, I would refuse. I'm throwing a fit. I'm throwing a temper tantrum. I don't want to go in. I'm not going. If my mom not staying with me, I don't want to go. I want to go back home. So for a while, this became a real problem to the point where my dad had to take off work and like he had to take me a couple of times and like really be stern, like go inside. And I would just be like, okay. I used to be scared of this nigga, bro. So I'm like, all right, bet. And then eventually we got back on the program where my mom would take me. Now I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm accustomed. I'm making friends and shit like that. So, all right, bet. I can go to school. So that's the beginning. Just a couple more memories from the time living on Clanton Road, Presley Road, man. Mind you, I told you my mom, she couldn't really clean herself at the time because of the wound, the recovery process. My dad is at work now, so at church we meet another family, Jaime and Ndala, right? And they got 2 kids. They got 2 daughters, Kadis and Helena, and so they become really close with my family, right? And my mom and her mom, they share the same birthday actually, and they got tight. And Jaime, their mom, used to drive to our crib to wash my mom, bro, in the bathtub. Bare hands, you know what I mean? So, again, I'm indebted to them for life, you understand? So, man, unbelievable, bro. Like, community, the community we had, the unity we had as an Ethiopian community here in Charlotte used to be special, bro. It got fucked up. And I'm gonna touch on that later. I'm gonna really get into that shit later because that shit pisses me off, dog. We used to be a real community, like really fucking with each other, and shit is sad how it went. Man, another thing though, Clanton Road at this time, early 2000s, was like just treacherous, bro. One of the worst. Every night, shootouts. I'm thinking fireworks, but I didn't know what a gun was at that. I didn't know what a gun was, but I didn't know what shots sounded like for real. So every night, all it is gunshots. It was one instance where the ice cream truck used to come every day, right? At a certain time. One day, both my parents is knocked out sleep. I'm not. So I'm, mischievous, bro. I'm like, I want some ice cream. I'm not finna wake them up. So I get to digging around. I'm looking through my mama's purse. I'm looking through my dad's pants. Found me a couple dollars. So I grabbed the dollars, storm out the house, right? Run out the house. And before you know it, there's this like policeman that runs up on me. Big guy, right? And it's crazy because I think I know who it is, bro. I think I know. It had to be him. I know that guy to this day, I think. We'll never be able to confirm it, but I'm just going based on like what I remember. And at the time, he was patrolling that area heavy too. My friend, one of my best friends' fathers, bro, I think it was him. We talk about this, but there's no way to really confirm it. But anyway, he run up on me, grab me like, yo, what are you doing out here? Like, you're not supposed to be out here. I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like, bro, it's like 4 o'clock. Broad daylight. What do you mean? It's not even dark outside. Why can't I be outside? Shit used to get cracking on Clanton Road broad day. So he like, nah. So he walked me over back to my house, knocks on the door, tells my parents like, yo, put him on a leash. Like he can't be outside at all. So they take me back, boom. But yeah, man, I got a lot of fond memories from that time because that's where I learned how to ride my first bike. Man, that's where I met my first friend. There's a lot of positive memories from Presley Road, man. So, at some point I'm gonna do a vlog where I go back and I visit all these places I'm talking about. All right, so now we have emotion, right? Pop's got a job, right? Mom's just starting to feel better. She's recovered, right? Now she want to work, so Pops get her a job as a housekeeper at Adams Mark Hotel, right? Today it's the Sheraton downtown. So she's a housekeeper at the Sheraton. At the Adams Mark Hotel. Pops is the handyman. So now they work in 2 different shifts. Whoever's taking care of me can, when they come to work, they can just drop them off to the other parent. Other parent take me home, right? So now we got a little system. We got a little routine going. And we moved out. We moved out of Clanton Road. It was like 7 of us. We deep in the 2-bedroom apartment. Now we got to get our own spot. We moved to 1600 East Crest Drive. I don't know if I should be saying all these addresses and shit. So it's all good though. East Crest Drive, right? Now we went from the west to the east. Mind you, we just came from East Africa to the west. You know what I mean? And then we landed in West Charlotte. Now we going back to the east, man. We're going to East Charlotte. So now we're in a 2-bedroom apartment in East Charlotte. Now this is a problem because I'm still young. I'm like 5, maybe, right? 5, 6 years old. I don't sleep by myself. I gotta have my mama with me. Straight up. So why we got a 2-bedroom apartment? I'm trying to figure this out. Like, who is the second room for, right? So now this is where my separation anxiety starts to kick in, bro. This is where like a lot of core memories come from, bro. I remember my mom, she would like try to put me to sleep. And then in the middle of the night, she would just dip off, go back to their room. And I would wake up and I'm tripping. Like, what do you mean you just left me, right? So then I came up with a technique where I would put my leg over her, right? So that way, like, if you're going to get up, you're going to have to wake me up. That didn't work. A nigga was dead asleep. So, like, she just threw my leg and she'd leave. Luckily, though, eventually, after some time, I grew into, like, just spending the night alone. And this is the start of a lot of, like, my my life, bro. Just having my own room and being just like a loner. This is where it all kind of starts from. Now things are going, we slowly just leveling up, right? Mom's got this job at the, she's working as a housekeeper at the hotel. But now, Pops, he teaching her how to drive now. Now it's time for Mama to get a car, right? So she driving, right? I remember those lessons were crazy because Pops, my dad, he don't got no patience. He get to yelling. It's bad. This is how shit. By the way, this is where things start to go left. Mind you, we were a loving, happy family at one point. Things just start to go left, right? And I'll get into it, speculating on like why, what happened, stuff like that later. But, you know, he's trying to teach her how to drive. He teaches her how to drive. Goes and gets her a car, right? Gold Toyota Corolla. Can never forget it, right? So now, Mom's, she leave the job at the hotel. She gets a job at the airport, Jetstream, cleaning up, right? So she goes on to, like, she was working there for like 10 years, right? They was putting her through hell. Mind you, both my parents, they don't really speak English at this time. Imagine getting dropped off in a country where you don't speak the language, you ain't got no money, and just having to figure it out, man. So like they're a lot stronger than I think they realize, and I'm super grateful for how I came up. Anyway, now at this time, I'm getting older, talking, right? Now I got talking. Now I'm in elementary school. My first elementary school was Chantilly Elementary, right? Which I was there for like 2 years because they shut it down and then became Billingsville Elementary right down the street. We in Grilltown. Just for those that don't know, it's Greer Heights in Charlotte. Now, this is the core of my entire life. This is where everything comes together, right? This is where I become who I become, literally. It's the foundation for my entire life moving forward. So for those that don't know, Grilltown in the early 2000s was treacherous, right? We in the thick of the hood, right? Mind you, I'm a little African boy, right? I don't really know what's going on. I'm new. So I'm just trying to figure things out as I go, right? So get to school. And we're not gonna focus too much on the school part because the school part was easy. My after school program really shaped me, right? So to touch on a little bit on the school part though, K through 5 was a breeze, bro. I loved school at that time. I was curious. I'm satisfying my curiosity. I feel like I'm learning. Listen, all A's from kindergarten through 5th grade. Never had a B, right? But my dad still wasn't happy. Now, why would you not be happy, Pops? Because on my report cards, it'd be all A's, but my behavior would say the kid is too talkative. He doesn't allow any other kids an opportunity to answer the questions. He just won't stop talking. He blurts out the answers before I finish. Stuff like that, right? Okay, I'm a 6-year-old boy. Like, I'm hyper, bro. I gotta get this energy out somehow. Y'all letting us lose for 20 minutes for recess. Nigga, if I know the answer, I'm gonna yell it out. You know what I'm saying? I have no concept of like allowing other kids to answer. That don't make sense to me at this age, right? I'm hoping my dad understands this. This nigga always been my op, bro. I'm thinking he gonna be on my side. Like, okay, at least he's doing well in school. All that other shit is like, whatever. We'll figure that out, right? No. He come to school, he side with the teachers. Now he takes me home. He's on my ass. Like, he's not even happy about the grades. I'm like, nigga, what's the point? Like, the purpose of going to school is to learn and get these grades. Bro, you gotta stop talking in class. You gotta stop. He just let me have it, right? He wouldn't stop letting me have it. And every report card, the same shit. Nigga, too talkative. You just keep talking too much. All right, whatever. You know what I mean? So now at this point, I don't even feel like my dad is like on my side. Now I'm like, this is like the beginning of our home issues, right? And I'm gonna really get on my pop's ass about a lot of things, but like now, I mean, I'm older. He's an older guy. Like we're trying to mend things. So I feel comfortable speaking freely about the past. Yeah, for the most part, school, breeze, right? Easy. Everything else kind of plays out at my after school program. So this program is for this community, right? We in Grilltown, super underfunded school. I'm pretty sure it was the least funded school in Charlotte at the time, right? There's no opportunities of Skyland Avenue, brother. There's nothing going on, right? So there was an after school program. This is the sliver of hope, right? I want to shout out, before I shout them out, let me shout out my K through 5 teachers, bro. Miss Caldwell, I can't forget you. Miss Gillespie, I don't forget you. Miss Hard in the 3rd grade. I don't remember my 4th grade teacher, but Miss Larkin in the 5th grade. Shout out to all of them, because they was hating low key with the behavioral reports, but it's all good. They fucked with me. They showed me love. You know what I mean? They were able to kind of like compartmentalize, like, you know, he's a kid, while still trying to like critique me constructively. Whereas my dad was just like, fuck the kid. Nigga, this kid is a menace. Like, he's a problem. I need to get it in him that he cannot be an issue. So shout out to them first, right? But secondly, shout out to the sponsors of my after school program, Athletes United for Youth. This is by far probably the most important just like time of my life, honestly. This is a lot of my first experiences come from Athletes United for Youth. My love of basketball comes from here. My love of football comes from here. My love for hip-hop music, this all starts right here in Greer Heights. So, like I said, Steve Smith, Jay Billis, Dale Curry. These are the 3 sponsors of Athletes United for Youth. Shout out to Jeff, too. Mr. Jeff, he was kind of like the organizer. And Miss Carol Bennett, this is my counselor. She was with us every day. And school got out at like 3, I think, like 3:15 or something like that. And so they would have us from 3:30 to like 6:30, whenever your parents could get off of work. Imagine how clutch that is. For free. For free. They didn't charge nothing, all right? It's just the kids that went to that school, like for the ones that, you know, their parents couldn't weren't home or whatever, they could just go to this after school program. Monday through Friday, I'm spending 8 hours, 10 hours a day, you know, at school in my after school program. Saturday, I'm with my parents. Sunday, we at church. Ethiopian part of me is like, Saturday, I'm full day with my parents, right? We talking in our native tongue. Sunday, I'm at church, so I'm abiding by the church rules and structure. But it's like there's a stark difference in how I'm acting in these 2 different places, right? Ethiopian side is like overly humble. It's too, my opinion, it's too humble. It's damn near to the point where it's fake, right? Because yeah, they come off as very nice people and very like warm, and they are. Don't get it twisted. But you can't tell the real ones from the fake ones. You just can't, bro. Like, behind closed doors, they get to talking behind your back. It's ugly. It's just ugly. I didn't, my soul, my spirit don't resonate with that, right? But I do respect some of the, you know, a lot of the culture. And then over here, I'm in the hood, right? Where it ain't about being humble. It's about respect. It's about pride, bro. Like, you know, and authenticity, really. Like, more than anything, it's being you. Like, you got to be authentic. And the folks in the hood, they like, if they like you, you'll know. If they don't like you, you'll know. You know what I mean? As opposed to the Ethiopian community, where it's like, you just don't know. You can't really tell if they like you or they don't like you. You know what I mean? They just gonna act one way in front of you, and then behind closed doors, we don't know how they feel about you. So I like this approach better, right? So I'm growing up. Like I started off this part by saying how, you know, it was such a core memory. It's not all positive, right? The beginning of it was tough because, like I said, I'm an alien, bro. Literally an alien. They dropped me off in the hood of Charlotte. You know what I mean? Now my English is starting to get polished, but I still don't know anything really. I don't know what basketball is. Nobody put me on basketball. Nobody put me on football. Nobody put me on hip hop. I don't know none of these things, right? So I gotta learn for myself. And it came with a lot of trials and tribulations because early on, I'm getting picked on, right? They laughing at, you know what I mean, the way my parents is dressing me. They laughing at the way my parents, when they come to pick me up, the way they talking. It got bad. And I was a little angry boy. Like, I wasn't the calm and collected kind of person that I've grown into being. Young, I was hot and turned. Like, I'm pissed. So I used to get on my dad's ass when we get home. Stop talking in this fucking language, bro. When you come pick me up, nigga, talking English. Like, because clearly these kids, they don't know what the fuck you saying, and now they getting on my ass about it every day. I can't keep tolerant. I cannot keep. Something gonna have to eventually happen. So, Pops, help me. Please help me out. Like, yo, stop talking. Just don't even talk at all. Just don't say a word. Just come pick me up and let's go. All right, so, you know, they picking on me for my name. Shit like, Johannes, what the fuck is that? Now I'm starting to get hot, though, right? And so, this is where kind of things changed a little bit. Shout out to my earliest homies, bro, like Shaheem Stafford, Zaquan Matthews. Zaquan's like my best friend at the time. Trayvon, DeAndre Walker, LaPortia, Jasmine. These are all people that, like, they embraced me early. They was, like, you know, in my age group. We all the same age. But the older kids, they picking on me and shit, right? Zaquan, shout out to Zaquan, bro. He a hooper. Young hooper, right? He the truth early. Bro is the truth early, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, he's nice. But he introduced me to the game of basketball. I was just watching like LeBron, and it's like, oh, this is incredible stuff. But Zaquan, on a local, like on a personal level, he introduced me to the game. I wanted to be like him. And so that sports and hip hop bridged the gap for me. You know what I mean? Shit got better through that. But still, you know what I mean? Here and there, people would pick on me. But now that I'm around, now I got some friends. There's some influence around me now. They like, bro, poke your chest out, chin up. Like, they test you, somebody disrespect, you gotta do something to them, right? I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna do something. Mind you, I'm frail, I'm tiny. I'm not scaring nobody, right? But at the time, my boy, he telling me about this gang shit, right? We had some OGs in the neighborhood that, like, you know, they had ties to Cali. They cripping hard. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fucking with how they getting down, you feel me? It's like a family unit, you know what I mean? And at the time, truth be told, nigga, I didn't really feel too much love in the house. So these niggas, they fucking with me. So, like, they got their blue rag. I'm like, oh, that shit look cool as fuck. You know, they playing Nipsey. This is where my first introduction to Nipsey, right? I'm Feeling Myself. And I found out he aired Trent. I'm like, yeah, okay. Oh, I'm all in. Like, when can we set up the initiation? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm like 8 years old, 7 years old or something. Like 8 years old, probably 9 years old. And I'm ready to give up my life to the gang, bro. Straight up. Right? Mind you, I haven't even got my first fight yet. So I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to be a Crip. And the older niggas, they was fucking with me too. Like, remember, the same ones that was picking on me now, like, now that I'm hooping, now that I'm playing football with them, shit like that, now they starting to respect me a little bit more. So that all the name calling and shit kind of stopped. Now they really embracing me. Now they showing me a lot of love. So I'm like, okay, I see what's going on here, right? But eventually, like, you know, you still had other dudes, other kids and shit that I wasn't necessarily cool with, that they would still at times try me. They pushing my buttons. But now I've been taught by the homies that, like, if they try it, violate, right? So I'm like, okay. This was one nigga, he older than me. He was slow. He had to be slow because he was in our grade, but he was a little older. He big boy though, right? So he picking on me, right? Now I'm getting hot. Like, I'm gonna see about that shit in recess, right? I never been in a fight before at this time. But I'm ready to go right now. Like, I'm ready to do that shit right now. So we go to recess. We meet over by the swings, wood chips and shit. I'm like, gotta throw down right now. Didn't lose or draw, like, we gotta throw down. So we get to throwing them, right? He ain't really land no punches. I don't even think I landed punches, but eventually he grabbed me, slammed me, right? Maybe probably like 30, 40 seconds into the fight, he just slammed me. I'm like, oh, this is not it right here. I'm not fucking with this. So my boy Zaquan probably, if I remember correctly, Zaquan runs over, right? He grab him up. Then the older niggas come and they separate the fight. And now I'm like, my shirt might have been ripped or something. Now I'm hot. I'm just, fuck. Like, I'm gonna get him. Like, and Zaquan, this is how fly Zaquan was. We like 3rd grade at this time, right? 3rd grade, 4th grade. He had a phone. Virgin Mobile, I'll never forget it. I'm like, your mom got you a phone, nigga? What? So he called his mama. He tell her what happened. She on the way. She bring 2 kids meals. We sit in the cabana. She gave us a lecture. We talked about something. I can't remember what we talked about, but she talked to us. I'm eating my little cheeseburger, whatever. Like, but I'm hot. Like, this nigga just slammed me, bro. I'm gonna get him though. Probably like a week later. Oh yeah, when I got home, it was up. Pops on my ass. This is what you do. I bring you from Africa. This is the type of time you on. This is what you get into. Nigga, you're here for school. School, not to be fighting, not to be getting in no altercations, none of that. Like, I'm sorry, Dad, but he getting on me, right? But I'm still hot about this nigga just slammed me, like, in front of the girls, too. That's not good. So, one day we in class, he get to talking shit again. But now I'm probably like a cartoon character. You could see the steam coming out of my ears. I'm turning red, like, okay, he gotta see about this. So this is my first and only time getting kicked out of school or being suspended. I grab a chair, pick up the chair, boom, I cracked that nigga. I fucked him up with that chair, bro. So boom, I crack him in the head, right? Now Pops he's headed up to here. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Right? So now it's a real issue. Now me and my dad, we started butting heads. This is where like my identity really starts to take shape, bro. So early on, it started off with like people teasing me, right? Stuff like that. Through sports and music, we bridged that gap. Now we have like similar interests. Now they fucking with me. Now they really embracing me, showing me love. We'll start with football, then we'll go basketball, then we'll go hip hop, right? And kind of how these things shape my time in elementary school, from like the 2nd grade to like all the way up to like the 5th grade, right? So football, every day at recess, we throwing the football, we playing, right? During school, we playing regular 2-hand touch because the teachers wouldn't allow it. After school, at the Athletes United for Youth, we going to the backfields. Now we playing throw them up, fuck them up. I'm a frail little boy, bro. Some of these dudes is older than us, like 2-3 years older than us. They big. Shout out to my boy Tony. Shout out to Daquan, Jamarcus, all them. They fucking me up, right? Niggas is getting pitched the ball. They coming and socking you, right? Like, we having kickoffs. Nigga, you catch the ball, you're getting your head knocked off, right? So I'm coming home. My mom is tripping. I'm bloody. Like, nigga might have lost a tooth, a couple things. She's tweaking. What the fuck is going on at school? I'm happy. I'm like, Ma, they like me. You know what I mean? Like, we good. Like, I'm having a ball. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a great time. But I realized, like, yeah, football, this ain't for me. This shit right here too violent. Like, I'm cool on this. At the time, though, my love for football came from watching the Panthers and Steve Smith, specifically Steve Smith. We'll get into that in a little bit. Basketball, I grew up watching LeBron James. I was a huge LeBron fan, but I'm watching LeBron like, oh yeah, I'll never be this nigga. Like, it ain't gonna happen. So that's when I transitioned into like Steph Curry. I could be him. And I started watching him in college. And again, we'll touch on that in a little bit. But hooping and, you know, Athletes United for Youth, we finally got like an organized team. So we would travel around Charlotte, played like different teams and shit. So this was like really fun, man. It was free. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to Miss C. She was the one driving us around and doing all this stuff. And while she's driving, though, she playing her music. She turned up. We listening to hip-hop. I'm listening to nothing but Jeezy and T.I. at the age of like 7, 8, 9. Right? So that's my first introduction to hip-hop. I can never forget the first song I ever fell in love with. Soul Survivor by Jeezy and Akon. That was my introduction to hip-hop. I fell in love with it right there. And then after that, it was straight tip. T.I.P. T.I. was the motherfucking king of the South for real, bro. Like, if you, any hood in the South, niggas are listening to T.I., Jeezy, Gucci, and Boosie. That's it. Dro, DJ Yola. It was some hits, bro. Master P. niggas, that's what we was listening to. So my early introduction to like music and my favorite music was like down south trap. So that was my introduction to music, right? I didn't really get into my own like favorite artists and stuff like that until pretty much middle school, like 6th grade. So that's for the next video. But for this video, I'm bumping what she bumping. She bumping T.I., she bumping Jeezy. That's what we on. So yeah, I fell in love with hip hop right there. But one of the coolest things about Athletes United for Youth, we had the Black History Bowl. We had spelling bees too with the school, but we had this Black History Bowl with the Athletes United for Youth, right? So spelling bees, I was running through that shit, nigga. Every time made it to like states or regional. I lost twice. The word croissant still fucks with me to this day. I ain't gonna lie. Fuck the French, except Kylian Mbappe. Cause that shit fucked me up, bro. I was supposed to be in the States. I was supposed to be on what's that? The national spelling bee. I should have been there, dog. But it's all good. Cause Black History Bowl, I was sweeping up. Every year I'm sweeping up, right? And this is huge because this is my introduction to like Black America, right? And they making sure we understand what's going on. And I'm like, oh, this is huge for me because they just like my long lost brothers and sisters, right? Now I'm learning the history. I'm learning about what happened. It's like, oh shit, okay, this is serious. That's really how I felt. So I just embraced it even more. Now I'm sweeping up Black History Month, right? First place every year. And it was my favorite thing. I love learning Black history, bro. So shout out to Athletes United for Youth for that. Because that really molded my identity. You know what I mean? It really helped with my identity at that time. Now, football. Mind you, I said earlier, Steve Smith was my idol. He was the first person I ever looked up to in America. Because of how violent he played. He played so angry and aggressive. He reminded me of myself. I just had no outlet to like express myself in that way. So I'm watching him. I'm like, oh, he's a dog. He's a monster. Like, oh, I want to be Steve Smith. So I'm telling my parents, they know I love this dude, right? He just so happens to sponsor my after school program. He catches wind that like, oh, there's this kid that like he loves you, right? And he's doing well in school. So he's like, oh yeah, I got to meet him. So one day they tell me like, yo, before school, my parents, they planned it with the school, whatever. They like, yo, throw on your Steve Smith jersey today. I'm like, okay. Yeah, honestly, you don't got to tell me twice. I'll wear it every day if I could. So I put on my jersey. I go to school. After school, they're like, yo, come to the gymnasium. There's a surprise for you. I get there, Steve. He done pulled up in the black Beamer. I'm losing my mind, right? But I'm really kicking it to him like, yo, Beamer's crazy. I need that. Like really scoping it out like, yo, I need this, right? And so, yeah, we get to chopping and we having fun, whatever. Then he took a real liking to me, right? So from that point forward, every year he would do a coat drive for us. For Christmas, he would get us new coats. Like Spider-Man 2, he rented out a theater for him and his children, and he brought me along. We went to the movie theaters all the time. We went to games. He used to have us at the football games. I'll never forget that Monday night or Sunday night game versus the Cowboys. We in the suite. Turned up. Like, I can't believe my idol, the dude I'm watching on TV, fucks with me. Like, for real, you know? He was a part of this golf tournament that they would have in Charlotte, South Charlotte. And at the time, they would make me do poetry. I was doing well in school, you know what I mean? And I had a real confidence about me at that time. They're like, yeah, we need him to do poems and shit, right? They would parade me around the city. Typically, they would take me to South Charlotte. And I cannot believe what I'm seeing, right? Come from the 10 houses to Section 8 housing. You know what I mean? Where I'm from, shit is ugly. It don't really look that pretty. Now I'm in South Charlotte. I'm like, what? They living like this? These people got great. Their grass is really greener. I'm not right-handed guy, bro. To this day, you go to South Park, you go to South Charlotte, their grass is really greener, for real. So I'm like, oh yeah, whatever this is, I need parts. So I go up there. During the golf tournament, they would have me come do my little poem. And that's the first time I also met Steph Curry. Steph Curry was at one of these golf tournaments with his dad. Obviously, his dad was a sponsor. Seth was there. His brother, Steve Smith, is there. Torrey Holt, Larry Fitzgerald, all these dudes that I grew up watching, they all there. But I'm like, I don't know Steph. I haven't met him yet. And now I'm scared, though. I'm not tripping on this poem. Nigga, this is easy. I wrote it. So it's like, it's easy. I could do this. But I'm telling Miss C, she with me. I'm telling her, like, yo, that's Steph Curry. He's at Davidson. I love his game. Like, I don't know what to say. She's like, bro, what do you, nigga, go over there and say what's up, right? I'm like, no, I don't want to. So she calls his dad over, Dell. She like, yo, this nigga, Johannes, he fucking with your son. Like, he don't know, he's scared though. He don't want to go talk to him. So Dell's like, come on, bro. Dell pulled me over to his family section, introduces me to Steph. I'm like, bro, I'm a big fan, huge fan. Like, keep going, bro. You're the one. Like, you're gonna be the guy, right? I dap up Steph, whatever. I'm like, yo, sign my poem though. And I wish I had this poem, bro. They signed it off for me and everything. That was my first introduction, meeting Steph, right? And mind you, Steve Smith is there, everybody there, but Steve is like, I look at him and I'm like, I see myself in him a lot. So it's like, you know, it's nothing for me to just kick shit, pop shit with him. Steph, I'd never met him before, and I didn't really know him as a person yet. I just kind of seen his game, so I didn't know like how to really kick it to him. I was a little shy, but we got over that, right? Now fast forward, basketball wise, I'm watching his games, and I didn't have a basket or anything, but on the side of our apartment building we had the bricks, and my dad got me a ball, and I would just imagine that one of the bricks was a goal, and I would just shoot and try to hit that brick every time. That was my thing. And I would come home and I would study Steph, like from base, from his feet all the way up to his shoulders, all the way through the follow, everything. I just try to imitate him as much as I could, and I just want to be like Steph Curry, man. And that carries a long way until I realized, oh, this hoop shit it's not in my cards, right? Shout out to Del Curry. Shout out to Steve Smith. Shout out to Jay Billis, because they really made that happen, bro. Like, they would have us Christmas time. We doing the coats. They giving us coats. We're doing Christmas carols. We going to like the elderly centers and we singing to the elderly. We're doing Christmas carols. They had me in the Baptist church choir. They had me singing at the choirs. Like, I was really, you know what I mean? I felt good. Like, I felt included, bro. I felt like I was a part of this community, like, for real, you know? And they showed me so much love, man. I can't wait till one day I'm gonna have Miss C on this. That podcast is gonna be crazy. Miss C is the truth, man. She's hilarious. She loves kids. She's great with kids. Like, that's gonna be a dope one. And I really want to see, like, does she remember a lot of this stuff? That'll be dope. That's the gist of the program, man. It helped. You know, the school shit was easy, but it was like after school really integrated me into the community. It made me really feel included, and it was such an inclusive environment, right? Started off tough. I'm getting teased and shit like that, but, you know, through the growing pains, I came out on it, like, really embraced. They love me. Now my confidence is up, right? So, like, by the fourth grade, my confidence is through the roof, right? To the point where fifth grade, you know, we in Ms. Larkin class. Shout out to Ms. Larkin. I'm getting to talking my shit, right? Now I'm like 10, 11 years old, right? I think I got crushes now, right? I'm liking the girls. I'm like, oh yeah. I had 3 crushes in elementary school, right? I still remember all to this day. Deasia Freeman, she was older than me. I actually just reached out to her on Facebook. We just chopped it up. That's hilarious. Deasia Freeman was my first crush. She was older than me. Beautiful. She's a pretty girl though, right? I stole one of my mom's rings and gave it to her. I wrote her a poem. It wasn't even a poem. I just wrote all of Ray J's One Wish lyrics, recited it to her, sang it to her after school. Destiny Hall was another girl that I had a huge crush on. She was short term though. She came and went. She was in my after school program. I have no idea where she went, but she was beautiful, dog. Shout out to Destiny Hall, wherever you at. Shout out to you. And then third, Malia Castillo. She was cold, and she was, mind you, I had perfect attendance for 5 years straight. My dad did not play that shit. I was at school every fucking day, right? So them days where Malia was not at school in my class, when she was in my class, but the days that she would not show up, I was hot. There was no worse days in life than the days I was showing up to class and Malia was not in class, bro. That shit pissed me off. But mind you, I don't really know nothing about girls at this time, for real. But everything I'm learning is like through music, right? I was a huge Chris Brown fan at this time. He dropped like With You at this time, right? Where he wore like this gray jacket with the black beanie. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give me a gray jacket with a black beanie. I'm gonna be just like Breezy, and the girls are gonna flock. He's saying wall to wall. They lined up from wall to wall. So I'm like, okay, if I just act like Breezy, it's gonna happen, right? Shout out to Shaquan. Shout out to Antoine. Shaquan was like, she was the biggest Chris Brown fan, bro. She really put me on, I'm not gonna lie. Every girl in the hood loved Chris Brown though. So I'm like, oh yeah, this what they like. I gotta be like Breezy. He was one of my favorite artists. Still to this day, he's one of my favorite artists. But yeah, those are like, that's a core memory for me, dog. Like my first crush in like 5th grade. You know, at this point in time though, like I said, like I already had a little bit of a history of like being a hothead. My dad just wasn't fucking with that. And I was set to go to Eastway Middle School, and at that time Eastway was rough. And my pops, he knew that. He like, oh yeah, nah, hell no, we going somewhere else. So he's like, you're gonna finish school here at 5th grade, and then we're off to like Providence Road, which is the next episode will be about from 6th grade on. I switched middle schools, middle of 7th grade. This is where, again, this is a major part of the story. So that the next episode will be about that. But he like, you're gonna play out the 5th grade here, but you're not going to Eastway. I'm like, fuck, okay. All my other homies, they going there, except Zaquan. Zaquan's going to the school called Alexander Graham, which that's the school I ended up going to. And thank God, he my best friend. I'm trying to go where Zaquan going, for real. Just to kind of put a ribbon on this episode, my 5th grade graduation, this is how my graduation went. Y'all know, like, you know, at the end of the school year, whatever, when the kids graduate, everybody come through and, you know, we walk. We walk across the stage like high school. For some reason, though, I stepped to one of my teachers. I'm like, yeah, I want to host the graduation. I want to host my graduation. I want to MC it. I later learned the term is MC. I want to MC my 5th grade graduation. She's like, huh? She ain't shut it down though. She's like, let me talk to the principal. Shout out to Mr. Campbell. They told Mr. Campbell's like, if he wants to do it, let him. So I'm like, bet. Low key, I was a little scared though. So I'm like, Zaquan, like, I told my boy, like, yo, you want to do it with me? Like, just be up there with me, and if you up there with me, I'm gonna feel confident. Like, I'm gonna be able to do it. Let's do it. So me and him, this is no bullshit. Me and him hosted our own 5th grade graduation. That's right. When I walked across the stage, nigga, I called out my name. You know what I mean? When Zaquan walked across the stage, he called out his name. You know what I'm saying? That's how we was moving early. And I'm proud of that, bro. Like, these are major moments for me, like, to be able to stand up in front of, you know, adults, kids, our whole graduation ceremony and MC it the whole way through. Unbelievable, bro. Or even like these golf tournaments I was telling y'all about, and standing up in front of all these people, bro. All these people. You know what I mean? And they so much different than what I'm accustomed to. I'm not accustomed to this stuff, and like, I'm so far removed from where we started, from home. But for some reason, it's just like, bro, fuck it. Like, go up there and talk your shit. You believe in this poem. You wrote the poem with intention, so get up there and speak it with intention. They're going to feel you. That's how my 5th grade experience came to an end. That's how my elementary school experience came to an end. I touched on pretty much everything I wanted to talk about on here. My parents, before they met, their upbringing, right? Quickly just kind of touch on their upbringing a little bit. When they met, you know, when I was conceived, the wedding, how we got selected to come to America, the trip from Ethiopia, from east to west, landing in Charlotte, right? Kind of talking about like the early places where we lived, where I spent a lot of my time. Some core memories, right? Like falling in love with certain things for the first time, right? Falling in love with sports, falling in love with music. The ups and downs of like just the social dynamics that I was dealing with, just being an alien, being a foreigner, bro, in a country that's so different, and it's like overcoming that, right, and kind of just naturally progressing through that, and then being embraced and being loved by the community, and, you know, feeling included. My first crushes, this is my first time having feelings for some girls, like, you know. Yeah, man, that was a special time in my life. And you know, running into some of the people that I looked up to, running into them early, right? Like I said, you know, the relationship with Steve Smith, it kind of tapers off at this point because I only run into him a few more times after. But someday I look forward to having him on the podcast, talking about that experience, that time period of my life. You know, And then as I kind of gradually start falling more and more in love with basketball, there's more stories to come, more so with basketball than there is football. And then obviously hip hop. You know, once I leave elementary school, I already got the foundation of like, oh, I love hip hop. But now it's like, let me go find something that resonates a little bit more with me, right? And like, I love what I grew up on, but like, I'm gonna find something that fits more of like who I am, right? And my situation. To all that, next episode, which is like pretty much my like adolescence, my coming into, you know, my teenage years. So like the ages of like 12, 13, 14. So all the way from, you know, 6th grade to the end of middle school and maybe a little bit of like early high school. Because things didn't really change up until like middle of high school. That's when everything kind of started to get a little different. So we'll see. I'll plan it out. I'll watch this back and see like where I want to take it. But yeah, only a couple more of these. I'm trying to tell my story before I look into trying to get guests on. I want people to know where I come from, you know, why I think the way I think. These things are important because before I get people on and start talking and, you know, giving opinions and shit like that, my opinion's not really going to make sense to anybody if you don't understand, you know, the upbringing. So I think that's really important. I want to lay that foundation first. Yeah, man, again, if you tapped into this one, over 100 people watched the first episode of this shit, bro. They sat through an hour. I can't believe that. So if you sat through this one again, I got nothing but love for you. Shout out to y'all, man. I'm going to keep going. Keep gassing. Today's my birthday. I feel good. You know what I mean? I'm 29. And I gave myself an ultimatum, bro. I got 5 years to make this shit crack. You know? For 5 years, I vowed to, like, just give it my all. I'm going to give it my time, my energy, my resources, everything that I can. And that's it. You know? That's the ultimatum. To make it, or there is no other option. So, you know, like I told y'all earlier, my grandma, my father's mother, she was a monk. She moved to a monastery. If I'm not on and cracking by 34, 5 years from now, brother, send me to the monastery. Like, I'm gonna just go be a monk. Because this, you know, I ain't got no other option. Like, this has to happen. So, you know, I gotta keep reiterating that, like, shout out to the supporters. Anybody that watches this fully is like, bro, I got real love for you. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all sticking around and hearing this story out. Hopefully it's entertaining enough and engaging enough. I know I'm not really, no camera angles, no none of that coming. Though, again, at some point, and definitely when I have guests on and shit like that, I'm gonna have different cameras. We're gonna do it in a real studio. But for now, like, hopefully the stories are engaging enough, maybe. So yeah, man, if you stuck around this long, love you, dog. Appreciate you.
Play that Nipsey, play that Cole, that shit be energizing me. Since legit, I wanted business, beamers, bitches at my feet. At 28, my vision different. I'm just trying to find some peace. Pray that God protect my soul, protect my sacred energy.